So we're working on a 2001 Boxster S Porsche, and today we are doing a driver's side window regulator. So a common problem with these cars as they get older is the window regulators will break. So on this car, I can just grab the window, push it kind of wherever I want. We're going to go through how to replace the window regulator and how to adjust all the window heights to make sure everything matches up with the roof, make sure everything is clean and tidy inside. Often the window regulators will break because the guides get sticky or full of dust, and it places an excess load on the window regulators, which causes the cable to break. So before we start working on the window regulator, we need to do two things. First thing I'm going to do is make sure my window is all the way up, and then I am going to disconnect the battery. Now, one thing about the window being all the way up, if you have a functioning window regulator, that means that when you open the door, it drops down about a ½ an inch to clear the roof line. You will actually have to trigger the door lock and then wind the window up to trick the car into thinking that the door is shut. Then you can disconnect the battery. So our battery's up front. I've already got the plastic covers. We just want to disconnect the negative side. So I'm just going to use a 10mm wrench. And the reason why we're doing that is there is a side airbag in this door. We don't want to have a risk of it going off if we accidentally trigger it. So it's just best practice to disconnect the battery. Okay, so the first part of the job is to get the door panel off. We've got some screws that are hidden in some locations. This one's actually missing. We're going to pop off the plastic pieces. There's another screw up in here. We'll also pop this piece off using our trim tools. Then there's a line of plastic door panel clips that hold this door trim on. Okay, we've got one Torx head screw that's going to be right here. A lot of these pieces are already pretty broken on this car. Normally these little plastic pieces would be locked in, but it was only hanging on the top one. Just going to lay this off to the side, grab a Torx head screw and undo that. So you've got another mounting screw here. You've got to pry off this little trim piece. Phillips head screw underneath. Now I'm just going to lift that door up. And disconnect my door lock lever. Looks like the interior light on this one was already fallen out and broken. So I'll get that out of there, put a new one in. Right here. Oh, there used to be a screw there, and this has been glued in. Door panel, a couple of broken trim clips. All in all, yeah, not too bad for a 20-year-old piece. Yeah, here's the airbag right here.
Yeah, I saw that.
Okay, so we're in the inside of our door. I'm going to pull my door speaker off here. Somebody's already been in. We've got a big DR for driver's side on the airbag, driver's airbag, and also a replacement part sticker. So at some point it had a new door put on it. And somebody's also cut the moisture barrier right here because they didn't want to disturb the airbag at some point in its life. The things you find on a 20-year-old vehicle. So we want to just carefully move our moisture barrier, trying not to rip it. And this one's been pretty well taped back together. so we can see the inside workings of our door panel. See part of our window regulator down here, and one of the cable drives driving up. This is part of the speaker assembly. So let's go and see if we can unplug this. Okay, just unplugging my speaker assembly.
Huge.
Yeah, so it can give it some resonance. Big old box. And now we can see more of our window regulator components. We can see the other side sitting over here. Can also see where my cable has broken and there's a piece just laying out from our window. So the next thing I'm going to do is take the actual glass out, and so I can get the regulator out and switch the motors over. So the reason why your window needs to be up to get everything out is in through these holes there's a Torx head screw, and this is what clamps the window to the window regulator. So if your window is down, and I'm just going to push the window down a little bit, you can see the screw disappears. So that window has to be all the way up to be able to get this regulator out and get the window out. So let me grab a Torx head and we'll pull the glass out. So I'm using a T30 Torx head driver, and I'm just loosening up that clamp on this side, which I'm done. Now I'm going to go loosen the clamp on the other side and lift the window out. Okay.
Wow.
So you don't have to undo those screws the entire way, just enough to loosen the clamps, and you'll see the whole glass comes out and see where the clamp was sitting on here and down here. The top mounts for the window regulators right here. Right here, we've got our window motor mounts are going to be right here, and then the two ones on the bottom. So the bottom part of our window regulator down here, there's a stud that goes through the bottom of the door, and in the bottom there's a door plug. So I just reached under there and pulled it out. Somebody's also put a little bit of tape across this for some reason. So I'm going to pop the door plug on the other side. Got those out. And this is going to be an M10 nut, or M6 thread, sorry, with a 10mm hex nut. That's what's holding me up. Somebody's put a big zip tie through here. Don't know why you'd do that. Yeah, so the problem's fairly obvious right now. Looks like the cable got pinched up or something bound up. Motor kept winding, and it pretty much just snapped it. So here's our new window regulator with our bracket connection here, so we can kind of see what's going on. This is supposed to sit here. There's this spring assembly which was in the bottom. It fell out with the door. You can see where this is broken off. This cable snapped right here. So I'm going to unbolt the motor, transfer it over onto the new regulator, and install it into the door. Let's say right. So when we first got it all apart and got the motor off, there's an R on the original window regulator that was in there, which at first made me think maybe that was a right side window regulator in the left door. And the way the motor connects is these little posts come down and it all kind of locks together, lines up like this and locks together. Well, on this one, the new one, when we go to lock it in, my mounting post is over here. When I go look at the door, these holes all match up to the door and there's not another hole over here. So a little more research, even though the part number on the box is correct, the part in the box is for the passenger side, not the driver's side. So we're going to have to send this back to our supplier and get the correct one. So I've bolted the window regulator back into the car door, and it's basically the reverse of pulling it out. Slide these pieces in. You want to slide it up past here first so you can get the stud in the slotted part of the door down the bottom here. And when you first put these in, these slots here adjust the angle on the window, so the tilt. And what I just did to start is I could see the dirt pattern where the old one was originally bolted, so I just lined it up with that first to check it. Then connected up my motor and reconnected our battery. So there's a couple of things that we can check first. The window is all the way up right now, and actually it's going to be down just a little bit because I opened the door. Let me turn the key on. So one of the functions of these windows is when you get in and out of the car is the window will drop down. So a quick way to check that is we can trigger our door lock and see the window come up and down. Then the other thing, when I bring it in for the first time, I want to make sure that my glass is below the height of the roof. And so I'm not slamming it in because sometimes if you don't have it seated all the way, it can be up too high. Then when it shuts, it should come up and seat nicely all the way around inside that trim area. Then when I open the handle, you see it'll pop down and bring it out. So there's a couple of other adjustments that we're going to check, and I'll run through those next, but that's kind of the basic thing. The tilt on this, you can also verify that with the door closed for the first time. It should be nice and flat up against it. Shouldn't be kind of hanging out, so if you, when you came in, if you went to shut the door and this glass was still leaning out, then that's your tilt down the bottom of the door that you would adjust first. But so far this one's gone pretty nice. Okay, so the next adjustment I want to check is my window height, which is how far up into the seal it goes. So I'm just going to take a wax pencil or a crayon, and I've just marked my glass. And then I'm going to go ahead and open the door. And what I'm looking for is on my line here is a fairly equal line. It's going to be a little bit weird over here, but usually across here. And we want to see around 4 to 6 millimeters of projection. So I've already adjusted this one. When I first did it, my back one had about 11 millimeters, and I just brought it back up. It's right around 6.5, 7. Up this side, I'm like 5.5 millimeters. So the way that we adjust that is we need to bring the glass all the way down. With the window all the way down, you can see this adjuster right here. This is a stop. And there's a little plastic plug, which I just popped out. And then I take my Torx head socket, bring it up in, and I screw up on that stop. That way, when I bring the glass up, it'll change the height. Now you can do the adjustment on side to side. So the adjustment on this one is going to be right here. I've still got the plug installed. I didn't need to touch that side. But that is how you adjust the window height. This is one of the old window regulator catchment pieces, and you can see the adjustment piece. And you can see it with my Torx head socket coming on here. And this is an E6 socket. And I would just twist it. I can't twist it without a tool because this is nylon, so it's a locking. But this is how you adjust the height of that window into the door seal. And by screwing that up, it's going to move that stock closer to. So the last thing I want to check is how much pressure I'm putting against the window seal. Now I spoke briefly about it in that the adjustment is controlled by the slotted pieces down in the bottom of the door with the window regulator. And to start, I set it to where it was. To check and see how good of a seal we've got, just using a piece of paper. And I'm going to shut that in the door like that. Now, if you've got good tension, it should have some pretty good pressure, or if you've got some weak paper, it should even rip the paper when you go to pull it out. This one was pretty good. I did give it a little bit more tension, but it's pretty tight, and you can see it's curling that paper up pretty well as well. So it's got a good seal up against that roof seal in there. Now, if this is not tight, what you'll get is a lot of wind noise when you're driving. So you want to make sure that these adjustments are all nice and tight. Then one last look over. I want to make sure that the glass is coming up even, which it is on this car. I'm pretty comfortable. I got a nice seal underneath here. When I pull off the handle, everything comes down nice. When I just bring it in and I'm kind of close, you can see that the gap, and I mean it's a curved piece of glass, so it's not going to be 100%, but you should have a fairly nice even shape on that window. So that's it for the window regulator and the glass. Everything's working well. I got to clean my wax off, and now I'm just going to put all the door back together, and it's pretty much the reverse of how it came apart. And that's it. Make sure I got nothing left down in here. Everything's tight so I don't have any door rattles, and we should be good to go.